I've been listening to the rhetoric on Charlie Kirk for the last 7 days since his murder on the 10th. Both sides of the coin between how black folks feel, how the Democrats feel, left wingers, students, young people, older people, folks that are teachers, nurses, politicians, you name it. And I've heard and seen most of all this out here concerning this man here. Now, Charlie Kirk, who was the founder of Turning Point USA, was not one of those podcasts that I watched on a daily. I may have seen it maybe once or twice out of all of the years that he's been out. I personally didn't think that his message was for me, and as a matter of fact, it wasn't. His message was mainly for the youth, his people, I'm going to say, because it seems that it was his people, the majority of them, and there are always exceptions, okay? But the majority of those that went to see him speak on campus were Caucasian. And he was speaking to them about making a different choice, letting them see how they were being duped by going to college and paying all that money and not being able to find a job when they come out, and how they should be creators. But most importantly, how they should follow the gospel of Jesus Christ. Okay? To form family units, to not be given away to lust, to adultery, to diddy parties, to transvestite, trannies, homosexuality, things that are far, far away from the teachings of Christianity. Now, where I think the problem comes in with black people is that regardless of how Charlie may have categorized us, spoken about us in a bad tone, we have to understand that what he said was not really untrue. It hurts to hear that coming from another race. Okay, to be criticized for something and seemingly to lump everybody in the same boat, even though I don't think that was the case. But when we look at our communities, we have to come to a realization that we need some Charlie Kirks, black folk Charlie Kirks, young people Charlie Kirks in our communities. Look at how devastated it is. Murder, shootings, robbery, rape, all kind of debauchery is going on a daily, 24/7. What are we doing about it? Now, I've heard the preachers come out against Charlie Kirk and mad because the president wants all of the flags to be half mast for this guy who they felt was a racist. But why don't you come out of your pulpit and go into your communities and preach to your youth about the gospel of Jesus Christ with your Holy Ghost filled, sanctified, filled self. Okay? Because we know that God is not the author of fear. So if you are afraid to go out, then you have to look at yourself. What are you preaching? What are you doing? Okay? To hell with the preaching. What are you doing? Because if you're doing what you should be doing, the community should not be in shambles the way it is. So I say this. Let them mourn Charlie Kirk. Let them get to the bottom of it. Don't be jealous because they are honoring a man who was trying to save their youth from going down the road of, hey, let's just do it. Let's just dress any kind of way we want. Let's punk out our children. Let's don't reprimand Uncle Willie, even though we know he's touching all the children in the family. Megan Thee Stallions and Glorilla, okay? And Diddy and all these different folks who don't do nothing for our image, for our uplifting, or even for the Most High, the Almighty. Now, I know that this is out of character for me to come on here and talk about anything concerning the world, because we know that the golden age is here in its very infant stages, but yet it's here. As we see the current civilization imploding on itself. Yes, we need to go into higher dimensions, but we won't be able to do it unless we, first of all, face the fact that we need help. We are in trouble. We have gone down into so much filth and debauchery and calling evil good and good evil until everyone's confused. Children, I tell you, to me, it's not the time to bring them into the world right now because of the vaccines that they're giving them. Millions of children are missing. They're grooming them in the school because of everything is just off cheater in a major way because we are ending an age. So I say this to those that are young listening to this: become a Charlie Kirk. Even if you're not considered young by standards of what the society say young is, you can do something to help bring about a halt to the madness, especially in our communities. Okay, and you say, well, that ain't all of us. Well, that's not what the media is showing the world. They clumping all of us in like we're all thieves, we're all gangbangers, we're all drug dealers, drug addicts, we're all lawless, we're all about anarchy. All of us are just condoning it. Nobody's saying anything. No preacher. No preacher. You hear them get in the pulpit and complain. That's all they do is bitch and moan, but they're not out there. We can't blame the media because the media is part of the cabal. The cabal's job is to use our pain, our suffering for their advancement, for their narrative. Why haven't we figured this stuff out yet? Why is it that we're always out there for a check, for a payment, to be paid to be an anarchist? Yeah, just give me the money. I'll go out there and throw some bricks. That type of thing. It speaks against that in Psalms, in Proverbs, in Ecclesiastics, in all of the books. So you don't want to read the Bible, go to the Quran, and it tells you about what will happen, okay, when you are not putting the Most High, the beneficent, the merciful, first and foremost in your life. We need someone in our community to rise up. And don't look for someone else. Look at you. Look in the mirror and begin to do your thing. It doesn't have to be like Charlie. You may not want to go on the college campuses. You may not want to go stand up in the church. But why not go to the parks? Why not go to the corners? Why not go out on your block, on your porch, somewhere and speak? Not only just speak, but live it. You see, with cosmic science, the laws of time, I live this. Every bit of it. And therefore, I can talk about it. I can break it down. And if you are at the point where you know that you are ready for the next dimension, then contact me at the original Titan 456 at yahoo.com. We'll be having some workshops coming up pretty soon that's going to break down each of the outer mental spheres of the hollow mind perceiver. Peace to the gods.